So the hard part about building the V-thread is lining it up so that the ends meet. And it's never going to meet right at the ends. It's usually going to meet, you know, somewhere along the way. But basically, there's a few different ways to do it. The way I prefer is I find if I stare into the first hole, I can tell my angle on this one fairly well. If you just try and guess, you'll miss every time. And when people are learning to do this, they miss at least half the time. Anyways, now the only time I ever miss is when I'm demonstrating. I learned years ago not to be in a rush doing this, even if you know you're way up high and you want to get down quick. You'll just waste time if you're in a rush because you'll keep missing.
So if you keep missing, you have to go to another spot to do
Yeah.
Oh god.
Like, I mean, I'd just go to like there or something, right? Sometimes you gotta chop away a bit to make room for the hanger to spin. There we go, and I hit. And this is also, not only does this get used for anchors in the sun, but also this is what you generally would rappel off of at the end of the day. Okay. Unless there's a tree or bolts in the rock or something.
Oh, that's when you tie your string.
Yeah.
Oh, I was wondering what you were tying against. I'm like, what do you mean you made something in the ice?
Yeah. Before this got invented, there's a Russian guy named something Abalikov that invented this system, or thought of it or whatever. Before that, they used to take one of their crappy old ice screws, put it in at a steep angle like that, and take it out, and then take a chunk of electrical conduit, like just copper pipe basically, and pound it into that hole, and then just loop the rope over it and rappel off that. And there was accidents, and it is as sketchy as it sounds. I mean, it must have worked most of the time, because I did that for years, right?
Electricity and water?
They also went a lot further out of their way to find, like, rock anchors and stuff, back when that was the only real system they had. But, so, now that I got the hole drilled, all I do is stick a piece of cord in one end, and then snag it with this little hook, the V-thread hooker.
Cool. And that ice can hold you.
Yeah, so these are actually stronger than V-thread, or than ice screws. The almost...
The ice itself?
Yeah.
That ice? Yep.
So the testing they've done on these, they almost without fail break the rope before the V-thread.
What? How could that be?
Because of the triangle.
It's amazingly strong.
It's a triangle.
Triangles are the strongest.
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
Ice is super strong, right? It's also it's just very brittle.
Because it's a triangle. I mean, it's a
So.
Wow.
There's our V-thread, and then because yesterday when we were using these anchors, I was still backing it up with one ice screw, just because that's kind of a standard policy for any anchor that your life depends on, is to back it up with something, right? But then at the end of the day, when I rappelled, it wasn't backed up with anything. But by then, it had been getting used all day and was thoroughly tested and everything, right?
Oh, wow.
Because when I back it up with an ice screw, I make sure that all the weight is still on the V-thread, and none of it's on the ice screw. But if the V-thread failed, then the ice screw would catch. But in all the stories I've heard and accident reports I've read and just climbing for years, I've never heard of a V-thread failing because of the ice failing. I've heard of them failing because of the knot, because of the knot, or people using old cord they found somewhere, or the most common one actually is like people reuse other people's V-threads all the time, and that's not necessarily bad if you can kind of see what all's going on and it's really good cord and everything, especially if there's two of them equalized, which is common on popular climbs. But the most common cause of like serious accidents with V-threads is when somebody builds one and they have like an extra long piece of cord, so this tail from the knot is kind of dangling out to here, and then over the next few days or whatever, the ice gets wet and water flows over and freezes over all this, and all that's left is a piece of cord sticking out down here with the end frozen into the ice. So it looks, what you see when you get to it is that, basically.
But
So it
really,
looks like a V-thread, right?
Yeah.
But really, it's just the end of the cord that's gotten, the end happened to get frozen in. And I've seen that lots of times over the years. And if I see them, I chop them out so that somebody else doesn't mistakenly use them, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, there was actually 2 years.
It's how he picks at that thing too, eh? He does it really hard.
Yeah. Okay, I tie my shoelaces.
Jay,
look to your right. Jay, Chris.
You can keep climbing right
Sorry.
over.
Keep.
Take a break if you need to. No.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm ready. I gotcha.
Okay. Jay climbing ahead. I think. Just to show us that all his weight's on his feet.
Move yourself over to the right a little bit. Step to the right with your right foot. There, okay. There, okay. Move over. That's it.
Using one finger over there. He's a rock climber, you can tell. Yeah. He knows how to do those holds in the rock.
Okay.
No chalk or anything.
Okay, now when you bring your left foot up, bring it up towards your right so you can gradually move it further right. Stand up. So confident on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to get like that. You just got to come out and do it and do it and do it.
I know.
Confident.
I want you to move it over to the right, further into the
Because really, don't you feel 100% more confident than yesterday?
Oh yeah. Even with these things, remember yesterday we were like,
I know.
Can you move your right axe further over right?
Nothing worth to take now.
Just put that one in the last one you have.
Yeah, fine.
Is that starting to get hard again? You got it. Right back. Are ya? Okay. Lean back. Lean back.
I just want to show them the 9-year-old climbing.
Yeah. Lean back. 2 feet wide apart now. Feet apart. And short step.
No.
Little step.
Hey,
so you actually don't need your hands.